Welcome to the Coachzing Show, helping you work less, earn more, and reach more people through creative content marketing. Join the Coach Zingers community, where the world's best coaches, therapists, authors, and speakers come together to discover the latest trends, forge powerful joint ventures, and grow their business together. Go to coachzing.com/community to join. And now, here's your host, Doug Foresta.
Hello and welcome back to the Coachzing Show. This is Doug Foresta, and my guest today is Craig Cannings, a good friend, and I'm just so excited to have him back on the Coachzing Show. And we're going to talk about something that I know is going to interest you, which is 5 reasons online courses don't sell. I can't tell you how many of you have emailed me and said, Doug, this is something I want to know more about. And I'm trying to launch online courses. I've heard that they're good things to do, but I don't know how to get people to, I don't know how to enroll people into them. Craig is an absolute expert at this. You're going to get a lot out of this episode, so stay tuned. As an internet entrepreneur and e-learning consultant for more than 10 years, Craig has built a variety of online training companies from scratch. In 2008, he launched the startup VAClassroom.com, which is now the premier online training platform for virtual assistants and online professionals. And most recently, he has teachinspireprofit.com. That's teachinspireprofit.com, and we'll talk about that. You'll learn what that is as well. He's had the privilege of creating high-impact training courses for thousands of students over 40 countries and consulted with 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs. So he really knows what he's talking about. And he lives on the west coast of Canada with his wife and 5 young princesses. I love that. Craig, welcome back to the Coachzing Show.
Hey, Doug. It's great to be here. It's always fun talking to you.
Thank you. Same here. So yeah, let's start with this is something I hear all the time. So I'm so excited that you're going to be talking about it, which is about reasons that online courses don't sell. So I figured maybe we'll just get right into it about, maybe we can start with sort of, I know you're going to share with us 5 reasons that online courses don't sell. I think I would say let's get into it. What are the reasons? I feel like the Dave Letterman show,
Yes. Well, yeah, the top 10 list, count it down. But there's a lot of different reasons why people are struggling with selling courses. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs who are wanting to package what they know and their skills and what they love into courses that convert. And the struggle they often have is like they might have been on the speaking circuit. Maybe they're a speaker, or maybe they've had books that they've sold. And now they've converted over to courses, and they're like, well, they're not selling. They're not selling like my books did, or I used to fill rooms when I was speaking, but I can't enroll people in an online course because it's a lot different. It's a different environment, and it's a different strategy. And so this has become a topic I'm passionate about because I believe the online education space is a really lucrative market to tap into if you know what you're doing and if you know the right approach to take. And it becomes this sort of automated income stream for people that they may be coaches, or they may be authors or counselors, or have different sort of specialties, but they love the idea of having automated streams of income that are coming from their courses that they create. And that's something that I've built over many years, is having these automated funnels that people go into based on different courses I have. So let's dive right into it. So I'm going to give you 5. There's more than that, but these are probably 5 of the main reasons that courses don't sell really well. And the first one, Doug, is just a simple one, but it's unclear on the ideal student, or if you want to use the term avatar or target audience.
Right.
They just, they may come up with a course that's in their wheelhouse. It's in they're passionate about it, or they're a subject matter expert in that area. But they understand the content, but they don't understand the student. And that's a huge disconnect, where they have content that they love and that they think is good. And when they get to try to market it, no one buys it because they haven't, maybe it's through their messaging or through their marketing or whatever it might be, they've missed the student. They've missed the pains and the challenges and the needs and the problems that they need to solve for these students. And at the end of the day, I'm a course creator, but I'm also a problem solver. I'm basically creating courses based on problems and challenges people have. And I take that and I turn it into training for them that helps them do things better or helps them make a breakthrough in their life. And so if you understand their pain and you can not feed on that, but you can respond to that and address that in your marketing, in your pre-launch stuff, when you're launching great content in your kind of your content marketing strategies, but also in your courses, there's a great chance that people are going to buy it and then they're going to stick with it because it fits the needs that they have. This seems simplistic, but often we get into that sort of vacuum where we're so invested in this course or in our content that we've lost the people that we're trying to reach out to, and it unfortunately then blows up in our face. So,
well, I think one of the things that is also just as sort of a big takeaway is the idea that there is a specific market that you're talking to, because I know I've done this before. I've said, I'm going to create this course. They go, well, who is this for? Well, it's for everybody, right? So I think even just the idea that we have a target audience, that there's like people specifically, that this isn't just for everyone. And then, right, what is that problem that people have? It sounds like what you're saying is I need to really think from the perspective of the person that I'm talking to or that I'm creating the course for.
Exactly. And for me, one of my businesses is the demographic is 90% women. And so this is a business I've had for a number of years. But early on, and I've worked with women. I have all daughters. I have a lot of experience with that that gender.
You've been around women,
but I'm not. I've been around women, but I'm not. This is a shock to you, but I'm not a woman.
This is you heard it first here on the Coachzing Show.
And so, but this was a kind of a revelation. I realized that I needed to, and I'd come from a media company where we sold all the types of demographics. So I had to really position how I spoke to them, the areas of interest. It had to go to where they were at as a woman, and a lot of them were work-at-home moms, or they were just coming from corporate and they were looking for this opportunity they could do from home. So all of that, I had to really profile them and say, do I understand at the end of the day what they need? And if I can meet their needs, and if I do it authentically, then they may stay with me for a long time. And that's what's happened. I have this great sort of like, I've got all these sort of program evangelists that they took this program, it met the needs, it solved exactly what they had, it helped them grow their business, and they bought many, many, many courses from me since then. So there's this sort of kind of lifetime acquisition that has resulted from really understanding them in the beginning.
So that's number one, is really having that clarity of, well, the number one reason it doesn't sell is that lack of clarity about who we're marketing to. What is number two?
Well, you'll like this one, Doug, because you're a fairly relational guy. Is not having not having a relationship with your audience, and this comes in the form of obviously laying out some clear content marketing strategies. Whether you're podcasting or whether you're sharing great YouTube videos or whether you blog or whether you tweet or whether you do all of it. But being really authentic and really investing in people in your particular area that you're working in, whether it's through a podcast or through social media or other means. And I think that's where over the years, through providing great content, and we did this, Doug, a lot through webinars. And that was probably one of my greatest content marketing sort of platforms, was just teleseminars, webinars, Google Hangouts. And I found myself, I was able to be myself. I was able to be more authentic, and people, there was that sort of no like trust factor seemed to be easier to build in webinars than maybe other platforms, where they actually got to hear my voice, they got to hear my jokes, they got to hear, about me and learn about, and they got to experience hopefully my level of expertise in particular topics. And so when I did that, when I launched our business, that was kind of the beginning stage. I had a lot of webinars I was running, and I was giving them away for free to different associations and organizations. And a lot of people were starting to trickle over to our site, which is one of our sites is called VA Classroom, which is a training site for virtual assistants. And but it all came from kind of establishing that credibility and then and obviously building the relationship from there. So and the other thing is our goal has always been to build our email list. We have been relentless about that from the beginning, and not so that we can just sell the pants off these people, but that we can actually connect with them and they can get to know us, and we can build rapport, and we can share more valuable content and mix in relevant offers for sure, but always in the context of a good, a kind of a trusting sort of relationship. So getting to know your audience, it's one thing to know who the audience is, but then you start to build a relationship with them, and that kind of forges, it solidifies the opportunity to then maybe sell them on a course.
I think that's a brilliant takeaway in that, I mean, if I think about that as a consumer, if I think about it, deciding on whether to enroll in a course or not is always done in the context of a relationship. If somebody says, do you want to buy this? I'll take it outside of a course. So if somebody says, do you want to buy this car? You're like, well, who's selling it, right? Do you want to buy this course? It's like, well, who's doing it? Of course, I want to know, who is this person? Do I have a relationship with them? Do I trust them? And I think that's great because, again, it's something that I know it's easy to forget when you're creating a course. Is you're just so focused on delivering the course and the content, and it's going to be great, and you forget that people want to know. They want to know about us, right? They want to know something about us. They want to feel connected to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so true. And I think because we're in the kind of education marketing space, we a lot of our free offers are courses. So we give away free classes, and they get to know and say, hey, and hopefully they're saying, I like this Craig guy. I just feel like I know him. We've never met, but there's something about him I like. And then we come up with an offer, and it seems like a natural transition for them to pull out a credit card and actually invest in a program.
So no relationship with audience is reason number 2 that your online courses don't sell. Number 3.
Number 3 is no expert content. And so not, you may have a course, but you haven't built yourself up as an expert, as a trusted expert. And so this is where, and this obviously gets into your wheelhouse, Doug, but choosing a primary publishing channel. So do you have an area that you can demonstrate your expertise the best? And we just talked about this on the onset before we got on, Doug, but It may not be podcasting. It may be short, quick tip YouTube videos that you create 1,000 of them, and you distribute them through every social media funnel you possibly can, or channel you can possibly get your hands on. And you build a following that way through your video-based content. Others are really great writers, and so they publish well. Others, like myself, I create a lot of sort of tutorials. I'm a teacher at heart, and I teach well, and so I know that if I'm going to, let's say win people over, or people are going to like me, then I want them to hear me teach.
Right.
And it could be a short 2-minute tutorial on YouTube, or using Camtasia, or using a tool to show my presentation or my slide deck. And so I think that's the key is, you can come up with this great course that you've created, but if you haven't built that expert status around it, through other content channels, through one primary even publishing channel you created, then it's difficult for people to kind of make that leap and actually want to buy your courses. So it's kind of a good front end.
And what I hear you saying also is like lead with your strengths, right? So share that content in the way that feels most right to you or that you most enjoy.
Exactly. Because I think, you could get into the latest, greatest sort of technology or platform to use, and you realize that you're a fish out of water, or you realize it's not an area you could passionately do over time. Because as you know, Doug, you're one of the most consistent podcasters out there. And if you let up on the consistency is a part of your success.
Definitely.
And if I come out and say, well, I like blogging, but I really only want to do it once every other month.
Right.
And that will be enough for me to feed that passion area. Well, there'll be no relationship. There'll be difficult to establish credible, that expert status if you don't have a publishing platform that you're consistently publishing to.
Yeah, very, very good point. And, I love what you're saying about, the consistency and then also like choosing, because it's funny, someone said to me recently, like Instagram is really hot or Pinterest is really hot. You should, you could create these graphics and put them on Pinterest. I'm like, you've never seen me create graphics. There's a reason I do podcasting. So I'm going to stick with that.
Exactly.
But it's the consistency in a channel over time. That makes a lot of sense. So lack of expert content is number 3. And let's go on to number 4.
Number 4 is no testing or focus group. So when you're creating a course, they do this with big brands. You'll bring in a focus group to see if they like, you think of Heinz. Let's think of Heinz ketchup. For whatever reason, they decided to come out with this purple and green ketchup a number of years ago. Don't know what their marketing team was thinking. Not sure what the brand, whether they had some new leadership or what was going on. But and I'm not even sure what happened in the focus groups because they didn't sell. People didn't want to dip their fries in green ketchup. It didn't take off. So I use that example, tongue in cheek, but the reality is it's the same thing with our courses. We go out there with this hope that someone will buy them and like the course, without having a sense of testing it, putting some mechanisms in place where we can test and see how does it work well. And a lot of times I've done it a number of different ways. And to give you a couple ideas, just to the top of my head.
I was going to ask you, like, how would I test?
How would you test? So, well, first of all, we typically have, and I do it through what I call micro courses. And so I'm not going to create a 10 module course that won't sell that I've spent 8 months and 733 hours on, and I find out it doesn't sell. I mean, it's bone crushing. Whereas if I come out with one small module, a micro course, and then I run some Facebook ads, or I funnel them into my social media channels, or I refer them to 10 of my best colleagues that can give me. So sometimes it might be just in your own network. Sometimes you're actually using small little paid ad campaign where you just run and you put out a free offer and you see how it resonates and you see how it tests out. We did it, when I started VA Classroom, the very first course that I ran, I got on the phone or I got an emailed and called people that I didn't know that were in this market. And I said, I will give you this course. It is going to be an amazing course, I believe, but I need your feedback. Before I roll it out to the market, please tell me what you think of it. So having a little test group that you can create on even a segment of your course, maybe you go and I'm going to create module number 1, and then I'm going to share it with my colleagues, or I'm going to give it away as a freebie, and I'm going to get feedback on that. And if people come back and say, you know what, it's just not really good. I want to be honest with you. Please don't go into the course creation business. It's really not for you. Or they say, this is really resonating. I'm kind of excited about what's in module 2. I want to dive into this stuff. Then you start to do a small test that doesn't put so much time investment on creating a whole course and then get to the sad reality where nobody wants to buy it. So having some sort of testing mechanism that will give you feedback, help you improve what you're doing so that you can launch the best course possible.
And so number 4, no, not doing testing, not really asking people, is this something that you would be interested in? Which brings us to I wish I had a drum roll, but number 5.
Yeah, and this is a big one. And we could spend many sessions talking about the good old funnel.
Yeah.
Not having what I call an education marketing funnel. Some might say a content marketing funnel or use different terms. I use education marketing because I have training companies and I'm selling courses and I'm selling training products. And so, in order to sell training programs, people need to know about your training or they need to know about you, the trainer. And so for me, I'm in the business of educating people towards buying our programs, not in a salesy way, but in a giving them great takeaways, helping them experience giving them the experience of what would it be like to be in one of Craig's courses. They get like a trial run. It's like a test drive, and they get to experience the teaching and the education that leads them hopefully to buy a product. And fortunately, I have a business partner that's really good at funnels of creating some sort of free class that leads them into an email autoresponder series that's about adding value. It's about building relationship that then is moving them towards some special particular offers that might fit them. So I think, whether you're podcasting or whether you're into social media or whether you're shooting videos, all of those, it's important to be very strategic that the links that you're putting in there are leading to not necessarily just a general website. You might do that for branding purposes, but to lead to very specific funnels that take them from the video to maybe a free class to a kind of an educational email series to a special offer that is very targeted. So it's this progressive sort of marketing campaign, if you want to call it progressive marketing, where you're going from a small little education, little class to kind of educating them along and then offering something that's very much building upon all that they've learned so far. That is what I call funnel. And that's a very important thing. And even more of an advanced tactic as you get going is creating these funnels that lead people into to your products. And ultimately you can make them automated so that you generate income while you sleep, which is awesome.
Craig, before we go, you also have a bonus one that I didn't mention at the beginning, and I didn't want to leave without discussing this. Can you share the bonus reason why online courses don't sell?
Last one, real quick, and this gets at a passion area for both of us. I know is no big why. So not knowing why you're creating the course in the first place, and And, for me, people always think that I'm a pretty caring guy by the way that I create courses. And maybe I am, maybe that's part of who I am. But I've always really I've been always hung up on how our courses are transforming the lives of the people that are taking them. It's not all about how am I going to make money off of these courses. It's kind of, obviously that's a part of it because I'm an entrepreneur, but it's also how is this course going to move their life forward in a big way? For us, when I started VA Classroom, that's very much what it was. Like, we were in a down economy at the time. People were being laid off in '08 in many big ways across the States. And there were people looking for opportunities to kind of get their lives back on track. And I saw what we were doing as kind of an open door for them. And it became a part of my big why. And then I got all these great stories from them saying, listen, I got laid off from corporate and then I found your course. And now I'm running a full-time business and I'm providing for my family again. I mean, that's intrinsically, you can't beat that. Like the money piece is an important part, but then you add that layer, that motivated me to want to create more of these programs and to make a bigger impact. And so when you have that connected to your education marketing, your education business, it goes a long way to helping you create enduring sort of courses that sell over the long term.
And Craig, I just want to say to our listeners and to you that I've gotten to know you. We're in a mastermind together. You definitely are a caring guy. And I think that makes a big difference in your programs. Now, please tell people how they can, I had shared the link at the beginning, but if you can tell people again how they can find you and learn more and learn how to create awesome online courses for themselves.
Yeah, so we have a great website with lots of free courses you can check out. And we've got a podcast as well that you can learn more about there at teachinspireprofit.com. We love that domain because it really encompasses our mission as well. We want to raise up teachers that will inspire their students to do great things and also for you to make a good living doing it. So it's teachinspireprofit.com.
Craig, thank you so much for coming back and sharing your words of wisdom. I greatly appreciate it.
All right. My pleasure, Doug.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll be back Monday through Friday with more great guests helping you to work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing. Till next time, this is Doug Foresta at The Coachzing Show.
Thank you for listening to The Coachzing Show. Subscribe to us via iTunes, and please leave us a review. It helps us grow our awesome tribe. This show is brought to you by Coachzing.com's Speak to Publish book system. If your book is stuck in your head, we can help you get it out in just a dozen hours of your time. Go to Coachzing.com for more information. Have you joined the Coach Zingers community yet? You'll get exclusive access to private mastermind calls where you can get instant marketing help from industry experts. Plus, we'll help you forge deals and partnerships with other like-minded professionals. Go to Coachzing.com/community to join now.